kind of like this background, to be honest. Let's film this video. Hey guys, it's Olivia aka Olives and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be like doing a story time type thing about one of my past relationships, as you can kind of tell by the title. But anyway, I just wanted to film this because I feel like a lot of people get in toxic relationships as such, no matter what age you are, so whether you are a teenager or if you're someone who is a lot older. If you do like this video, if you do find it helpful, let me know down below, and if you have any future suggestions, let me know down below as well. Follow me on my social media networks, Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram, to keep up to date with me when I'm not on YouTube. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Let's start off with like how this relationship happened. So I was 15 at the time when we started dating, and we'll call this guy Franklin. I don't know why, but we're gonna call him Franklin, and pretty much any one of my close friends will know who this guy is. And we were together for 9 months, roughly 9 months, and the way that we met was because we worked at the same workplace. So we were in the same intake at our work. We actually sat next to each other at one of the training days, and at the time he was still with his ex-girlfriend at the time, and I was just single doing whatever. And that's how we first became friends. And then he broke up, I think 2 days after that training day actually, and we were still friends, just talking and whatever. About 2 weeks later he asked me out on a date, and I noticed that they had broken up, and so I went on the date. And mind you, he was 2 years older than me, so I was 15 at the time and he was turning 17 at the end of that year. So this was 2014, he was turning 17, but at the time he was still only 16. We went on the date, and me being 15 and like it was kind of like my first proper relationship type thing, so when he asked me out on the first date, I said yes, but I now know not to do that. Yeah, I said yes, and then we were in a relationship, which is fine, whatever. We then like obviously went to each other's houses and whatnot. Around about the 2-month mark, it kind of the downhill slope from there. We started to argue about stupid stuff. I guess like that happens with any relationship. It was just not normal, if that makes sense. Like if I wanted to hang out with friends or something, he'd be like, no, you have to hang out with me. And so I didn't really hang out with my friends that much. He would be like, if I was to do something or I didn't want to do it, he'd be like, if you truly loved me, you would do it. He would always say that, and I kind of just did it because he was like my first proper boyfriend, and I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't want to lose him, and I didn't want him to think that I didn't love him and whatnot. And so that's why I like stopped hanging out with all my friends, or I didn't go to any birthday parties or anything like that, because I felt like I had to hang out with him. And so he was very manipulative that way. He always like pressured me into doing stuff, and I didn't really want to do it. I didn't have sex with him. He tried to pressure me into that, and I just didn't want to do it. He'd pressure me into doing other sexual stuff. In the end, it just kept doing that, and we kept fighting. And he would always hang out with his friends, which was a girl, and that's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that because I do have a majority of guy friends. So, but the way that he would tell me that he was going to hang out with this friend that was a girl, we'll call her Shaniqua or something. The way that Franklin would word how he's going to hang out with Shaniqua, as if it was like he was trying to make me jealous as such. It didn't annoy me because he was going to hang out with her, but it annoyed me because of the way he was trying to make me feel. But then it also annoyed me because like I let him go hang out with her, but he wouldn't let me go hang out with my friends. And another key indicator of that I was in a toxic relationship was he told me he was going to kill himself if I didn't do something. Then towards the end we just kept arguing because I just didn't want to see him. Basically in the end I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to like see him, even though he was my boyfriend. I didn't want to see him at all because of the way that he was making me feel, and I just didn't know how to let him go as such. So we were fighting and whatnot, and then this one day I was at school and he was at his school because he hadn't graduated at that time. We were just arguing over text message, and I was in class, and in the end I just asked to go out of class, and I had a really good teacher and I was in work education, so I just asked if I could leave, and I had my friend Courtney come out with me, and so I rang him, and my other friend Jared, he was out of class too for some reason, so he ended up hanging out with Courtney while I was on the phone, and I was crying and whatever, because like he was just like, oh, how do I explain this? It's like he wanted to break up, but he just didn't say it, if that makes sense. And so it's like he was trying to hold on just to like keep me as such, but he wanted to break up anyway. I remember in the last part of the phone call, I was like, maybe we should take a break, and his words were, breaks don't fucking work. I was like, then okay, fine, we're over, like that's it. And he's like, oh, and like he didn't try to argue it either. He's like, oh, okay, bye then. And then I was like, bye, and hung up. And then I cried because it's like, that's what everyone seems to do after breakups. And then Courtney came over and hugged me, and so did Jared. And yeah, and then so we broke up, and obviously people started to find out at our workplace because we both worked in the same workplace. But we broke up, and whenever we were on the same shift, he would like try to still kiss me and stuff, and it's like, stop, I'm not with you anymore. And so like we have like a separate locker room, and we have an elevator at our work, and if I were in the elevator, he would like come in and make sure it was just him and I, and then he'd try to kiss me, and it's like, stop, I'm broken up with you, I don't want anything to do with you, leave me alone. Like, he's like, oh, but you like it, or stuff like that, kind of how it ended. And then a week later, he rocked up to work, and he had hickeys on his neck, and he was like showing them off and whatever, and I just thought, you're actually filth. And everyone else would come up to me at work and be like, who was, and I'll be like, I don't care. Oh shit, I just said his name. They were like, he looks disgusting, and I was like, I know. There is always a brighter side to situations like this. I happened to get out of it. It did take a very long time to get over him. I think what helped me get over him was just hanging out with my friends afterwards. I went to the snow afterwards. And then a couple of months after that, I went to America on my exchange. I don't know if he's still like this. I hope that he's not, because he's in a relationship with someone else and has been for a while, I think. I do wish him the best. Like, I don't hold a grudge, like it happened. It's made me stronger as a person. I've learned to be more cautious about those sorts of people. A toxic relationship doesn't have to be between you and a partner. It can be between you and a best friend. As for my tips to get over it, surround yourself with the right people, so whether it be your friends, your family, someone that you can trust, surround yourself around them so you can like bring all the positive vibes towards yourself. Find something to do, like a new hobby or something, so whether it is, I don't know, maybe read a book, play a video game, create a YouTube channel, get a job, start a new sport, something to keep you entertained so you're not by yourself or something like that. Thinking about it will help you a lot. As for tips to avoid it, you kind of can't really get any tips to avoid it. Like, obviously don't do what I did and just say yes, you'll be their partner straight after one date. Like, I was young and I was stupid. If you can like pick up certain signs within the first like couple of dates or however many dates that you go on, and you feel like that's something like your past or a past toxic relationship, and you know in your gut that you shouldn't do this, don't do it. Your gut's majority of the time always right. Yeah, you can't really avoid it until you're in the situation, and that's when you know. How do I feel now? I feel great. I have moved on since then, and obviously I've broken up with that person since then. I'm a single Pringle. I'm happy with life. I've graduated from school. Obviously I've gone to America since then. I've traveled to different states in Australia since then. I've gained many friends. I've gained a couple of qualifications as well. There is light at the end of the tunnel, or a brighter side, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's the end of this video about my toxic relationship and my tips on how to get over toxic relationships and whatnot. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I upload every Tuesday. Follow me on my social media networks, Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram. That way you can keep up to date with me when I'm not on YouTube. And as for that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!